Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second session of week 3, module 6. My name is Arlette Ivonne Macedo Ortega, and I'm very glad to be here with you guys. What are we going to do in today's session? In today's session, guys, we are going to revise the verbs to express likes and dislikes. We are going to revise the conjugation of verbs in present simple, the use of can and can't, the use of WH and yes, no questions, and verbs to express daily routines. So let's get the ball rolling. First of all, guys, remember that we have yes, no questions. Yes, no questions start with do or does. But according to the order of today, the organization of this session, we are going to identify the mistakes in the following sentences. Look at the first one. I lie wrong in the morning. This sentence is wrong. Why? Because remember that after like, we can use a verb in gerund. It means that a verb with ing or a verb with infinitive with to. So the second sentence in number 1 is correct. Why? Because I have, I like to run. I have a verb in infinitive, and also I have a verb in gerund with ing. I like to run or I like running. Second one, I love to pizza, sports, cats, and basketball. This sentence, guys, is also wrong. Why? Because pizza, sports, cats, and basketball are nouns. So in this case, guys, in order to be correct, we need to add a verb. I love to eat pizza or I love eating pizza. If we want to talk about nouns, what we can do is I love pizza, I love sport, I love cats, or I love basketball. Okay, guys, we only omit the preposition to. This is another way to correct the sentence. I love pizza, I love sports, I love cats, I love basketball. And in number 3, guys, I am keen on to eat pizza. Remember that after a preposition, like on, we use only gerund. So here, the only way to correct this sentence is, I am keen on eating pizza. That's it. That's the only way to correct the sentence. Number 4, what can you do? Dance salsa. This answer, guys, is incorrect, is wrong. Why? Because remember that we need to write complete sentences. It means with a subject, a verb, and a complement. In this case, we have a subject. I can is my modal verb, and then after can, I write a verb and the complement. I can dance salsa. Next, do you like watching TV? If I like it a lot, this answer is completely wrong. Why? Because we never use if in an answer. What we need in this case is yes. Because remember, guys, that we answer yes, no questions with yes or no. So the correct answer is yes, I do. I like it a lot. So now let's start with the verbs to express likes and dislikes. I'm going to give a click to the first worksheet, guys. And I'm going to post it in the chat box so that you can follow it. You can do it along with me. So this. Wait a minute. Um, okay, let's give a click to the first exercise. Wait, it's been downloaded. Now I'm going to share it. What you can see on the screen, guys, is an exercise to revise how to express likes and dislikes. As you can see on the screen, we conjugate the verb like in affirmative, in negative, and in question form. For example, I like plus verb ing, she likes plus verb ing, and we like plus verb ing. As you know, guys, after like, we can write a verb with ing, that is a gerund, or infinitive with to. For example, I don't like plus a verb with ing, she doesn't like plus a verb with ing, or we don't like plus a verb with ing. Do I like and a verb with ing? Let's do some practice. Complete positive sentence. The first one, look at this. We need to conjugate they with the verb like. So we write, they like playing leapfrog. What is leapfrog? Is this game, guys? Over here. This is a very old-fashioned game. We used to play it too many years ago. What about next one? He likes. Remember, guys, in this case, we write an S to the verb because he is a third person of singular. So he likes taking photos. Another way to say this is he likes to take photos. This is also correct. But in this case, the instruction only says that we can use ing. Well, next one, she likes. Why an S? Because we are conjugated with she, that is a third person of singular. So she likes singing. Next one, I like reading comics. Next, we like playing hide and seek. Hide and seek, it was a very popular game. Do you remember this game? A las escondidas, jugar a las escondidas. Next, complete negative sentences. She, we are going to conjugate in present simple. She doesn't like playing basketball. Next, we don't like cooking. Next one, he doesn't like fish. Remember that in negative, present simple, we use auxiliary doesn't when we are conjugated with he, she, or it. an auxiliary don't if we are conjugated with I, you, we, and they. And the last one, they don't like playing chess. Now we are going to complete the questions with the answers. Remember the auxiliary do for I, you, we, and they. So we have, do you like doing gymnastics? Yes, I do. Next, do they like listening stories? Yes, they do. Next, does. Remember, because we have she, does she like playing hide and seek? No, she doesn't. Next, does. Does the cat like in the ball? No, it doesn't. Next one, write true full sentences. Use like plus the verb ing. What do you like playing? Well, in this question, you can write something like, I like playing chess and other board games. Me gusta jugar ajedrez y otros juegos de mesa. What don't you like doing in the morning? I don't like getting up early. No me gusta levantarme temprano. What does your dad like doing? Vean, en esta última pregunta nos hacen referencia a nuestro papá. ¿Qué es lo que le gusta a mi papá? O poner, he likes reading the newspaper. Hey guys, what do you like playing? I like playing chess and other board games. What don't you like doing in the morning? I don't like getting up early. And what does your dad like doing? He likes reading the newspaper. Now we have already completed the exercise. Let's give a click to finish and let's see, guys, our answers. Oh, there is something here. He doesn't like fish. Okay, this answer is correct, but fish in this sentence is a verb, not a noun. So here, guys, it says, él no le gusta el pescado. Y está completamente correcto. Pero aquí la idea era utilizar el verbo fish. Y entonces tendría que haber sido, he doesn't like fishing. ¿Ok? He doesn't like fishing. Vean la imagen. Aquí está. He doesn't like fishing. Pero bueno, el ejercicio no los puso bien porque también puede ser así. No le gusta el pescado, pero bueno, en este caso era usar el verbo fishing. ¿Ok? Bueno, let's go back to the presentation and let's see what is next. Wait a second, guys. It's been downloaded. Here it is. Here, guys, we have another exercise. So let's see what this exercise is about. I'm going to post the link in the chat as well so that you can follow it with me. Here it is. Let's give a click. I'm going to share the screen. Okay, guys, now you can see the screen. And we have another exercise in which we are going to put in practice the use of like. According to the instruction, we have like plus a verb with ing. Let's see, guys. The first one, I like play or I like playing computer games. Remember that after like, we use a verb with ing or a verb with infinitive with to. So in this case, is I like playing computer games. Next, he don't like or he doesn't like reading comics. In this case, guys, remember that he is a pronoun, the third person of singular, so we conjugate with doesn't. He doesn't like reading comics. Next, I don't like or I doesn't like painting pictures. Remember, with I, you, we, and they, we just don't. We don't like. Next, she like or she likes collecting stickers. She likes. Next one, they like or they likes. They like using the computer. Next, I don't like watch or I don't like watching. I don't like watching TV. David like or David likes. Remember, guys, that David is third person of singular, so we need to add an S to the verb like. So David likes roller skating. Next one, we doesn't like or we don't like. Obviously, we don't like because for I, you, we, and they, we use the auxiliary don't for negative. Next, my mom like or my mom likes. In this case, my mom is third person of singular. So we write, my mom likes dancing. Emma likes go or Emma likes going. Emma likes going. Next, he doesn't like or he don't like. He doesn't like shopping. You like singing or you like singing works. Well, in this case, songs, sorry. You like singing songs. And that's it. Look at this. In the last one, we write the verb with ing. And we got it right, guys. So what was the purpose of this exercise? The purpose of this exercise was to conjugate the verb like. In affirmative or in negative. Okay, so now let's go back to the presentation again. And so far we have revised the verbs to express likes and dislikes. How to conjugate. Now let's look at the conjugations of verbs in present simple. Remember, guys, that when we conjugate a verb in present simple with the third person of singular like he, she, and it, we need to be careful because we need to add an S or ES or IES. So now we are going to look at those rules. I'm going to give a click to the link that I have posted in the chat. And let's see what is on. Here, guys, we have how to conjugate verbs in affirmative with the third person of singular. Here we are. Present simple affirmative. Here we have the rules. If you conjugate a verb with he, she, or it, that means in third person of singular, we add an S. To most of the verbs, we add S. For example, she runs. She eats. Now, what about verbs that end with double S, SH, CH, X, Z, or O? For these verbs, guys, we add ES when we conjugate it, when we conjugate them with he, she, or it. For example, she fixes her car. He goes to school. He washes the dishes. And what about the verbs that end with a consonant plus Y? For example, the verb cry. If you can see, this verb ends with Y, but before Y, we have a consonant that is R. When we conjugate these verbs with he, she, or it, we need to change the Y for I and add ES. For example, cries, studies, dries, tidies, flies, copies. Look at this. A study ends with Y, but before Y, we need a consonant that is D. Dry also finishes with Y, but before Y, there is a consonant that is R. Tidy finish with Y, but before Y, there is a consonant that is D. Fly ends with Y, but before I, there is a consonant that is L. And copy finishes with Y, but before Y, there is a consonant that is P. Okay, so that's the idea. Let's look at the first exercise. What about watch? According to the rule, this verb ends with CH. So when we conjugate them with he, she, and it, we need to write watches. And then what about play? Play ends with Y, but before this Y, there is a vowel. So in this case, we only add an S. Read, reads. Practice, practices. Remember that when we finish with practice, practices, practices. Next, write, writes. Next one, cry. In this case, we end with a consonant with Y, but before Y there is R, so we say cries. Next, buys. Look at this. In this case, we don't write IES because before Y there is a vowel. Brush, brushes. Tidy, tidies. Wear, wears. Live, lives. Enjoy, enjoys. All right, guys, now let's do the other exercise. In this exercise, you have to complete the present simple sentences with the correct form of the verb given. For example, I go to the beach in the summer. She plays in the garden. What about the first one? Charlie sometimes, and in parentheses, we have to tidy. So we need to conjugate the verb. Charlie sometimes tidies his room. Christine does her homework. Tom and Charlie take photos. Why in this case we don't add an S? Because I'm talking about two people, Tom and Charlie. Sarah often buys. The dog always runs. They always eat. My mother wears. My friends needs. We often talk. My sister and I go. I look at the birds when I go to the park. My cousin uses, in this case, yes, we need an ES. We drink. Mary always brushes her hair. My grandparents live. And that's it, guys. So let's see if we are right. Let's give a click to finish and let's check our answers. Oh, we got it right. There is one mistake here. They always, guys, I wrote it's, but no. It's, they is not the third person of singular. So look at this. The verb must without S. So they always eat at 1 o'clock. All right? And that's it, guys. The rest were perfectly right. So we got it. We got 10 in this exercise. Very good. Let's go back now to the presentation, guys, and let's see what is next. After we have revised the conjugation of verbs in present simple, let's revise can or can't. So I'm going to post this link in the chat so that you can click on it and answer along with me. So I'm going to do the same, guys. I'm going to give a click. And now I'm going to share a screen. Here we have the exercise, can or can't. Wait a minute, it's been downloaded. Here we have. Look and write can or can't. So here we have a chart in which we have 3 characters, Sirin, Husnu, and Ibrahim. And they do different activities like doing puzzles, climbing trees, cycling, scuba diving, and driving. And we have the instructions. Serene ride a bike, but she dived. So we are using but because we are making contrasts. in every sentence. So Serene, let's look at Serene. Serene can, yes, he can ride a bike, but she can't dive. All right? Look, she can't dive, but she can ride a bike. Hızlı. Hızlı can't do puzzles, but he can climb a tree. Next, Ibrahim. Ibrahim can climb a tree, but he can't drive a car. Look at this. Hızlı. Hızlı climb a tree, but he can't drive a car. Next, Husnu can't ride a bike according to the shot, but he can drive a car. Serene do puzzles. Serene can't do puzzles, but she can drive a car. Next, Ibrahim can climb a tree, affirmative, but he can't drive, negative. Next, Zirin, ride a bike. Yeah, affirmative. She can ride a bike, but she can't do puzzles. Husnu, dive. No, he can't. Husnu can't dive, but he can drive a car. Ibrahim, dive. Negative, can't dive, but he can do puzzles. Next, Ibrahim, affirmative, can climb a tree, but he can't drive, negative. Next, Serene. Serene can dive, affirmative, but she can't ride a bike. Next, Husnu, climb a tree. Yeah, affirmative, but he can't ride a bike. Okay? Remember, guys, that we can use the modal verb can to talk about abilities, and we also use it for permission and possibility, okay? But in this exercise, we are revising can with the function of ability. Let's give a click to finish. Oh, we have something. Serene dive? No, Serene can't dive. So the first one was negative. Serene can dive, as we can see in the chat. But she can ride a bike. Look. Yeah, okay. So in the last one was can't. First, Serene can't dive, but she can ride a bike. Okay, guys? Well, okay. Now let's go back. Now that we have practice can or can't, let's look at WH questions. The WH questions, guys. I'm going to post the link in the chat. And let's give a click to WH questions. WH questions with do and does. Remember that in the previous session on Wednesday, I gave you the correct order of words in WH question. So we have the question word, the auxiliary, the subject, and the verb. Question word, auxiliary, subject, and verb. Question word, auxiliary, subject, and verb. Question word, auxiliary, subject, and verb. So let's see. Where do you live? Next, how? Question word, subject, do. Question word, auxiliary, sorry. Subject, you. Verb, go. Complement, to school. Okay? Look at this. Question word, how? Auxiliary, do. Subject, you. Verb, go. Complement, to school. Next, where? Where? Look at this. Where is my question word? Does is my auxiliary. He is my verb. And work, he is my subject, sorry. And work is my verb. Where does he work? Remember, guys, that when we use a verb in a question, we don't need to add S or ES. Recuerden que cuando usamos un verbo en una pregunta, con do o con das, ya no es necesario que le agreguemos una S o una ES al verbo. ¿Por qué? Porque ya es el auxiliar. Ahora, la siguiente, when. Ahora, auxiliar, does. ¿Por qué does? Porque estoy hablando de la clase. When does class or the class end? Bueno, yo le voy a poner así como está solito, when does class end. Pero la verdad es que le falta aquí el artículo the. ¿Cuándo termina la clase? Vamos a ver la número 4. What? Question word, auxiliary, thus, subject, your father. Verb, do. What does your father do? Next, who? Auxiliary, do. Verb, no, sorry, after, before the verb, the subject. Who do you see in the photo? Next, how many? Look at this. How many cousins? Vean, todo esto es parte de la question word. ¿Cuántos sobrinos? Ahora sí, mi auxiliar, do, mi sujeto, you, y mi verbo, have. How many cousins do you have? Next one, why? Auxiliary, do. Subject, you. Verb, get off early on Sundays. Okay? Why do you get up early on Sundays? Next, which? Kind of food. Which kind of food? All of this is part of the question word, guys. Which kind of food? To, auxiliary, subject, and verb. What kind of food do you prefer? Next, what sport? A sport is part of the question word, guys. Thus is my auxiliary. She is my subject. And play is my verb. Next, where? Where is my question word. Thus is my auxiliary. Is train is my subject. And go is my verb. All right. Remember, guys, that in the activity number 6, you have to ask questions in the third person of singular to your, about, in this case, about your potential roommate. Okay, so you are going to use thus in all your questions. You can use WH questions like these ones, or you can also use yes/no questions. The purpose of this exercise, guys, was for you to get familiar with the order of words in questions in present simple with do and does. Okay, so let's give a click to this. Wow, we got it right. Excellent. Now let's go back to the presentation, guys. And let's see. After WH questions, we are going to revise the yes/no questions. Let's go back to this slide. Remember that yes/no questions start with the auxiliary do or does. When do I use do? I use do, guys, with I, we, you, and they. And I use thus with he, she, or it. For example, do you like chocolate? Does she enjoy walking? And I have here the formula. ASI. In Spanish, así. Auxiliary, do. Subject, I, we, you, or they. And verb, like. Verb in infinitive without to. Look at this. Por eso pongo el I, porque la I significa un verbo en infinitivo sin to. Recuerden que hay verbos en infinitivo con to, por ejemplo, to run, to read, ¿ok? Pero también hay verbos en infinitivo sin el to, como en este caso. Ahora, ¿qué pasa en la respuesta? Recuerden que necesito poner mi respuesta completa. Necesito poner yes, I do o yes, they do. O sea, que en la respuesta también tengo que agregar el auxiliar. Si me están preguntando con do, contesto con do. Si me están preguntando con das, contesto con das. ¿Ok? Bueno, veamos aquí. Do you like chocolate? Yes, I do. Or no, I don't. Does she enjoy walking? Yes, she does. Or no, she doesn't. Ahora, ¿qué pasa en una oración en negativo? Bueno, tengo mi sujeto primero, luego mi auxiliar y finalmente mi verbo en infinitivo sin tú. Por ejemplo, I don't like chocolate. She doesn't enjoy walking. Bien, she es mi sujeto, doesn't es mi auxiliar en negativo y enjoy es mi verbo, ¿ok? En infinitivo sin el tú. Entonces tengo que decir, I don't like chocolate and she doesn't enjoy walking. Ahora, ¿qué pasa si lo hago en afirmativo? En afirmativo tengo mi sujeto que es you y luego mi verbo que es like. You like chocolate. And then he enjoys walking. Aquí sí tengo que conjugar mi verbo, chicos. Lo tengo que conjugar en tercera persona del singular, afirmativo. Por eso le tengo que agregar la S. Solamente le vamos a agregar, recuerden, ES, S o IES a los verbos en presente simple, afirmativo, cuando están conjugados con he, she, it. Solamente en ese caso, ¿ok, chicos? All right. Bueno, hasta ahora hemos repasado cómo estructurar las yes, no questions, las WH questions, cómo conjugar los verbos en presente simple, el verbo can o can't, y vamos a ver verbos para expresar nuestra rutina diaria, ¿ok? Entonces, vamos a hacer el último ejercicio, chicos. Les voy a pegar el link. Let's give a click. Okay, one day in my life. Look at the pictures and complete the gaps. Every day at 8 o'clock, and then I have breakfast. I live near my school, so I don't go to school. To school, I finish classes and I at 2:30. In the afternoon, I do my homework and also play games with my little brother. I usually at 9 o'clock. I at 9:30. So, first, let's look at the picture. Vean que aquí la chica se está despertando. Entonces yo tengo que utilizar el verbo despertar y en inglés es wake up. I wake up at 8 o'clock. All right. Aquí puedo decir I have a shower or I take a shower. Vamos a ver si es con have. A shower. And then I have breakfast. Vean el uso del then, que es un conector para enlistar. Y después desayuno. I have breakfast at, bueno, el reloj nos marca que desayuna a las 8:30. Entonces yo voy a poner at 8:30. I live near my school, so I don't go to school. Vean, aquí tenemos otro conector. Vivo cerca de mi casa, por lo tanto, no voy a mi casa o no voy a... Vivo cerca de la escuela, perdón, por lo tanto, no voy a la escuela en carro. Yo puedo utilizar by car. Y vean que van caminando, I walk to school. Yo voy caminando a la escuela o camino a la escuela. I finish classes at 2 o'clock. And I have lunch 2:30. In the afternoon, I do my homework and I also play games with my little brother. I usually, vean el adverbio de frecuencia. Recuerden, chicos, que los adverbios de frecuencia los utilizamos en presente simple y van después del sujeto y antes del verbo. Pero, ¿qué pasa cuando uso el verbo ser o estar? Bueno, cuando uso el verbo ser o estar, van después del verbo ser o estar. Por ejemplo, I am usually on time o I am usually cold in the mornings. Normalmente tengo frío en las mañanas. Pero aquí vamos a poner otro verbo que es tener o, en este caso, comer. I have dinner. Recuerden que I have breakfast es desayunar. I have lunch es almorzar o a veces es comer para algunos, depende de la hora. I have dinner también es comer o también se traduce como cenar. I usually have dinner at 9 o'clock. Pero recuerden que dinner es la comida principal. I usually have dinner at 9 o'clock and aquí está durmiendo. Yo bueno, le puedo poner el verbo sleep. And I sleep. También le puedo poner I go to bed. I go to bed at 9:30. Y vamos a darle click en finish. Oh, wake up. Bueno, de acuerdo al dibujo era wake up, chicas, porque vean que ella se está despertando con su reloj despertador. Pero a lo mejor, bueno, la clave de este ejercicio nos marca que también podemos usar get up. Entonces podríamos decir, every day I get up at 8 o'clock. Solamente recuerden la diferencia entre wake up y get up. Recuerden que wake up es despertar y get up es levantarse. Ahora, la última. Pues a lo mejor el ejercicio, la clave del ejercicio, está bien decir I sleep. Sí, pero también podemos decir I go to bed. Y a lo mejor el ejercicio tenía I go to bed en la clave de respuestas, ¿ok? Entonces, I go to bed at 9:30. That's it, guys. Ok. Well, en este ejercicio, como ustedes pueden ver, todos los verbos van conjugados en primera persona. Pero cuando ustedes estén hablando de la rutina de su roommate, ustedes van a utilizar tercera persona del singular. O sea, van a conjugar los verbos en tercera persona y les van a agregar S, ES, OR y ES, depende de qué tipo de verbo sea. ¿Ok? Bueno, vamos a regresar a la presentación. Oh, bueno, vean aquí. Every day I wake up, bueno, como ya les había dicho, puede ser I wake up, de acuerdo a la imagen nos indica wake up o get up. Bueno, este es el ejercicio que hicimos, creo que no se los había mostrado en pantalla, pero bueno, aquí está. Ese es el ejercicio. Ahora sí, vamos a regresar. Y si tienen alguna pregunta, ustedes me la pueden hacer en el chat o bien podrían también hacérmela en el mensajero de la plataforma. Muchas gracias a todos por su atención y nos vemos muy pronto en la última semana del módulo, que es la semana 4. Thank you guys. Have a nice weekend. And I really appreciate your time on this Saturday. Thanks, everybody. And thanks for your attendance. Bye bye.